What was that? Can you give that to me one more time?
I'm a top dollar bitch, but I'm far from a hoochie.
Nice
Pretty
ring
bitch
bell, man.
Pretty bitch music. Big mama, I'm a shit talker. I see him copy every look. I got a few dollars. Every check I deposit got a few commas. Pretty bitch mouth slick. I'm a good problem. Fella sleeping Gucci. Hating house all roasted. He ate it with his grill. That was diamonds in my coochie. I was in the dorm stressed out with my roomie. Now I'm in a bin stretched out cause it's roomy. In love with the new me. A long way from boosting. Cause been seen I had niggas trying to seduce. But fuck getting paid off the blade. You can't use. I'm a top dollar bitch, but I'm far from a Gucci. Pretty bitch music. Trending off a selfie. Chanel me off the top shelf, please. Only fuck with niggas if they handsome and wealthy. Crab meat, got my ass looking healthy. I'm the Birkin babe, keep my baby hairs laid. Fendi frame, the Hermes mermaid. Pretty face, no waist, first play. I'd be a billionaire if I sold my sex tape. Pretty bitch music. Pretty bitch music.
We're back. It's Wine Wednesday, y'all. Wine Wednesday, y'all. Wine Wednesday, y'all. I should have been a rapper, you know? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Raps about wines. Yeah. Well, we back at it, y'all, and we're talking about my favorite topic: women. Women and wine. Women. So we're talking women in the wine industry today, women who have influenced the wine industry, women winemakers, women vineyard owners. We do it all.
We do it all.
We drink wine. Really do it all.
And listen, I'm gonna level with you guys. Even though there's amazing wine, women in wine who are doing amazing things, there are a lot of them.
There aren't a lot of them.
So we're gonna be giving you guys some information and just talking from the gut about being badass bitches. Pretty bitch music.
Chanel me off the top shelf, please.
I'm the Birkin babe, keep my baby hairs laid. Fendi frame, the Hermes mermaid. Ayy.
Pretty face, no waist, first place. I'd be a billionaire if I sold my sex tape. Okay, so we are talking women in winemaking. Well, to talk about women in winemaking, let's first talk about the women who drink the wine.
Who drink
the wine. You there. You there. It's me. I mentioned it.
It's me.
So actually, 50% of the wine purchasers in the US are women. So women are the ones drinking the wine, y'all. That's all I gotta say. 57%. That's what I said. 50%. What did I say? 50%. Oh. 57% of the purchases made in the US are by women. So when you hear the stats on how many women actually make wines, that is going to be very shocking. Just keep that number in your head. You know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? A majority. A majority. Women are a majority in this country, are they not? Yeah.
They sure are.
51-49, pretty sure.
There you go.
Let's bump that up. Yeah.
It's a real sausage fest around here.
But 10% of lead winemakers in the US are actually women, which sounds, I mean, I don't know if it even sounds like a lot, but in the scheme of like, when you think about how many wineries are in California and only 10% of those are women, that's insanity. That's crazy.
Honestly.
And then on top of that, 0.1% of that 10% are black women. So if you can imagine, 0.1% are black women and 9.99% are white women that take up the 10% of that women in the winemaking. And what we really know from women being in the wine industry is that they're taking the environment more seriously. They're really working on sustainability and helping make sure that the education really reaches the wine taster. So I feel like in a lot of sense, you know, that's not really what male winemakers are really looking out for. At least they haven't been for the majority of winemaking history. Now that California is sort of getting more organic and more sustainable, it's slowly turning in that direction. But it only first came with women sort of, you know, making the first move towards sustainability. The tides are shifting though in the winemaking world. In 2017, more women than men were enrolled in the UC Davis Viticulture and Entomology program, which is amazing. UC Davis is one of the best schools you can go to for viticulture and winemaking, and the fact that more women have enrolled only means that we will be getting more winemakers in the future. So all we can do is, you know, sort of really egg those women on and hope that they sort of make their way into the general market, make their way into really big mass producing wine companies. But until that day happens, we are right here telling you how many women are in this industry.
And I always say, like, you can put the people in the room, but is the room ready to receive them? So even though that statistic is really exciting, the data actually shows that while women are pursuing higher education and wine, pursuing those careers, the doors are not being open for them. They are asking for promotions, they're asking for opportunities. So it's up to the allies in the room to call those out and call those behaviors out and make sure you can have diversity, but you can't do it without inclusion. So you gotta make sure that the people are included as well. That's exciting.
There are 600 women-owned wineries in the world, and there is actually a directory at wowsonoma.com, and you can go by each state and see what women-owned wineries there are in that state, which is very fun, very exciting.
You know what I'm doing from now on?
Tell me.
It's women-owned only.
Women-owned
vineyards only.
Honestly.
Make our way around those 600.
All right, so while we're giving you guys knowledge, dropping knowledge on you guys, we're going to be drinking a 2013, ooh, that's 8 years old.
8 years old, baby.
That's a long time ago.
But it's right there in that sweet spot for when we would want to open this wine. It is like it's a red blend, right?
Yeah, I'm more like crushed by the relentless passing of time and the age that is falling upon me.
I know,
but
I just had to move on.
So this is a winery that is in Kenwood, California, which is in Sonoma County. This is a 2013 Soirée. There you go. And it's made by, the winemaker is Margot Van Straven, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that name. She is an amazing leader, an amazing wine maker. I had the opportunity to work with her at my last company, and yeah, she's a boss ass bitch. And it's a beautiful property. It's part of Martha Vineyard's like top places to get drunk or have a wedding.
I'm sure Martha would love to get.
Honestly, it's absolutely gorgeous, and you can play games out there. You can get a cheese plate and just chill outside. It's glorious.
So while we're popping that open, we also wanted to give you guys some information on sommeliers. So Priya used the word earlier, viticulture, and that refers to basically the study of grapes and grape leaves, like the scientific study of the agriculture. And we have winemaking, which is, you know, making it a delicious alcohol. And then you have master soms, and that's basically somebody who is extremely knowledgeable, not only on wine, but really knows how to pair the wine, really is intelligent and well-versed in service as well. Right?
Right?
Okay,
Right? Is that not the truth?
Amen. That is very true.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Let me show you the bottle.
Yes.
Chateau Saint Jean. Priya's titties in the background.
And just so you guys know, there's a difference between a W set, so that is like a really common wine certification that has 4 levels that you can go to, and sommeliers, where W set is really more on just the technicalities and like wine knowledge. Sommeliers and master sommeliers are really about the tasting notes, really understanding what brings to life this wine, putting it down to a region, the soil, everything that has to do with this wine. So it's really lauded after to become a master sommelier. So since the Court of Sommelier opened, I think in 1977, 269 people have actually passed and been certified. In the Americas chapters, we've had 172 people who have been certified. Of those, 144 are men and 28 are women, which is, that number doesn't cut it for me. I need more. One of the things that was really disheartening, like I said at the beginning of the video, is we didn't find a lot of like information about women. And actually, when I was searching women's songs, there were a lot of articles and a lot of things about sexual assault within the wine industry, within the Court of Sommeliers, like within that group, which was really disheartening to see. But in a kind of fucked up way, it wasn't surprising. A lot of times in these male-dominated industries, you see women are very harassed, they're gate-kept a lot, and honestly, it's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. And to think that people that, you know, I even looked up to and somebody that really championed me to be able to get into the program and to be able to take it for free. The fact that he was included in all of it, it is really disheartening, and this is why it makes it so difficult for women to take up space, because then they're worried, nervous, scared about having something pushed back, and
yeah,
it's an unfair position to be in when you're, you know, I just don't even know how. Words don't even.
No, I completely understand you, and I think that's why it's important to have somebody that looks like you and has your experience in the room. There's plenty of time where I've walked in a room with all white women and they're like, "Aren't you glad no men are here?" Yeah, I wish niggas was here. I'll cut that out. Maybe I won't. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If there are no women in the room, they can't. They won't be able to relate to your experience. And also, it's important to have that, be able to say, hey, that joke that you made was not okay.
Yeah.
It made me feel really uncomfortable. Hey, the way that you're speaking to this professional is not okay. It's being able to make those call outs. But if it's a boy group and they are stuck in their ways, it's harder to break down those barriers. So that's why we say all the time, representation matters. Having those people, not only in the room, but the room be safe enough for them to operate in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And support the women around you. You know, you never know the experience of what women have gone through and the things that they have done to get to the position they are in now. And especially a lot of women working in the restaurant industry, they sort of like let go of everything else in their life to focus on this position. And once something happens where somebody that they looked up to completely shatters their reality of what was going on, it ruins it for everybody. And understanding that women are telling the truth and women only want for the problem to be seen, we just gotta start listening to women, y'all.
Yeah.
And that's all it comes down to. And this Quarter Master Sommeliers thing, you know, it was a huge overturn in the wine community, and a lot of people got exposed. So it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking, and it sort of really rocked everyone in the winemaking. Say all that to say that we hope Quarter Master Sommelier moves in the right direction, more women come into the industry, and more women will be able to represent more women. That's all we want. We just want more women running around in this thing.
Yes. All right, cheers.
Cheers, y'all. To women.
To women.
So fortunately, there are organizations that are already trying to gather data and combat the inequalities that lie within the wine industry. There is an organization called the Lift Collective, which has been taking responses from hundreds of questions to women in the wine industry and sort of trying to find the inequalities there and how women feel in the wine industry and give them a voice. So I think that's really great because, you know, you kind of have to create those own spaces for yourself because nobody's just going to listen to you if you're, you know, a woman in the wine industry. They're not going to actively go out of their way to come up to you and be like, how do you feel about being in this all white male room?
Exactly.
That I hired, please. How do you... There is also an organization called Women of the Vine and Spirits based out of Napa, and they are also champions for women in the wine industry and are trying to pave the way for a lot of women in the wine industry as well.
By hosting what, like symposiums to talk about different
Symposium. By hosting symposiums.
You've been to one year, right?
Yeah, I went to one year and Danica Patrick was there, and it was her. The only reason I remember this vividly is because she came on stage and she was like, "It's my birthday and I've been drinking, so let's get started." But she was amazing. But I did have a really good time going, but I felt it was, and this is what I'm saying, like you need proper representation. I had asked my company to pay for like an HR certificate for me because I really wanted to progress and learn about wine, and they were like, why don't we send you to this symposium instead? The topic, diversity in Black women. Like,
it's the opposite.
Am I giving the symposium?
Like, wow, this white woman is going to tell me about diversity. Everybody listen up.
But that's how I felt when I walked in. I was like, great. But it was actually incredibly refreshing, and they really pushed down on stereotypes. Like, they called things out. They were not afraid to say, you guys are afraid to let people work from home. You guys are afraid to have Black people in your offices. Like, they really called things out, and I was really pleasantly surprised with just how brazen they were. And I think that's how you make it work. You have to call out things and have the courageous conversation.
You have to call out things, and if that doesn't work, embarrass the hell out of someone.
A dog walk somebody.
Was it men and women at the symposium?
Yeah, it was men and women from the industry. So you had like spirits, so Hennessy or you know, the other one.
I highlight some women-owned vineyards. So the first one we're going to talk about is Theopolis Vineyard in the Yorkville Highlands of California. It is a small lot vineyard and handcrafted winery. And the founder of Theopolis Vineyard is Theodore R. Lee. She calls herself Theopatra, which doesn't sit well with me because she's a Texan. I don't know.
Queen of the vineyards, though. Queen of the vineyards.
Queen of the vineyards.
It's bigger in Texas.
Judge of that. So she's now bottling her own award-winning wines.
Ooh.
You say. So, Theopolis Vineyards specializes in a Petit Syrah and a Rosé of Petit Syrah, but they also strike some of the lighter notes by bottling a Symphony, which is a white wine that is a cross of a Muscat and a Grenache Gris.
Ooh.
They do also bottle a Pinot Noir and a Santa Lucia Highlands Pinot Noir.
Oh,
Sorry,
wow.
it was an Anderson Valley Pinot Noir and a Santa Lucia Islands Pinot Noir. So, as you guys know, in our past videos on Champagne, we talked about Barbie Nicole Clicquot, who was the grande dame of Champagne, and she was the first woman to do it in the winemaking industry, and so really everyone owes thanks to her in the winemaking industry. But as you can see, she has paved the way for many successful women in the wine industry, and that's what we love. So another famous woman winemaker in California was Hannah Weinberger. Her and her family the family that she married into,
Yes.
right? Started a vineyard with some very successful wines, and then her husband passed away, and she sort of took over and made it even more successful than it was before.
Funny how that happens.
It's funny
How?
the husband mysteriously dies and business skyrockets.
Well, he didn't mysteriously die. He was shot by a disgruntled employee.
Oh, yes. Because I think he was having an affair with that employee's daughter. So, Hannah Weinberger actually went to Paris to participate in this winemaking competition, and she was the first woman to win a silver medal at that competition. So, you know,
Just doing big things.
Very good wine.
Yeah.
Very good one.
But her vineyard now is now part of William Cole Vineyards in St. Helena in Napa Valley. Is St. Helena in Napa Valley? Just Napa.
St. Helena in the grander Napa Valley.
In the ground Napa Valley.
Yes. Well, women.
Well, women, you know, women conquer the world. They hold up half the sky.
The full sky.
The
Men
whole sky.
are doing 10% of the work. They're like, this is me holding up the sky.
But I'm really excited. Hopefully, you know, the wine industry will change. I think it'll be a long time coming unless people doing the work,
Yeah.
especially for women and people of color. But I definitely do think it is changing for the better. And I personally like to look up demographics on wine consumption and the wine industry to stay on top of it.
Stay on top of it. And the biggest thing is, if you are a woman that is feeling, you know, a little displaced in the environment that she's in, girl, fake it till you make it. Be bold and be confident, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what your male counterparts are doing and getting the job done, somehow managing to get the job done.
Yeah.
So we gotta match their confidence, and at the end of the day, we just gotta be our biggest advocate.
Yeah.
Find your group of women that you can rely on, and this is what we gotta do for each other, y'all. We gotta lift each other up.
Well, don't you worry your pretty little heads, because we have you covered for Valentine's Day. Our Valentine's Day menu will be going up February 1st, so you can order February 1st through February 8th to get your stuff in time for Valentine's Day. If you want to get your significant other a little treat, if you want to treat yourself, if you want to treat your mama, if you want to treat your dog. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, Give him a shortbread cookie. But we will have that menu up February 1st, and we're so excited to bring you some Valentine's Day treats, because the way to a woman's heart is through her stomach.
Yes.
Well, as always, let us know what wine you're drinking, or if you just drinking, baby.
Cheers.
I forgot to drink.
All right, so we take a little picture.